All right, let's dive into something that is absolutely critical for any business owner who's using Google Ads. Getting your account structure right is often the single biggest difference between, well, throwing your ad budget away and getting a steady stream of new customers.
So, does this sound familiar? You're putting your hard-earned money into Google, you see the clicks coming in, which feels good for a second, but then you look at your schedule and it's just crickets. The phone isn't ringing, and honestly, that's one of the most frustrating feelings there is.
And look, if that's you, I want you to know you're not alone. This is an incredibly common problem, especially for service businesses. It can really feel like you're just lighting money on fire and hoping someone sees the smoke signals and decides to call. But here's the thing. What if I told you the problem usually isn't your ad copy, or your offer, or any of that? More often than not, the real culprit is hidden one level deeper. It all comes down to the basic organization, or disorganization, of your Google Ads account.
The easiest way to wrap your head around this is with a really simple analogy. Just imagine your entire Google Ads account is a filing cabinet. When it's organized, you can find exactly what you need in seconds. But when it's a mess, it's just a chaotic box that costs you money.
So at the very top level, you have your account. That's the whole cabinet. It's where your billing info, your business name, all that foundational stuff lives. You usually just set this up once and don't touch it much.
Now let's open that cabinet up. The main drawers inside, those are your campaigns. And here is the most important part. Each drawer should be for one specific category of service. You'd have one drawer for patio cleaning, another for decking, and maybe a third for lawn care. It keeps everything neat and separated.
And then, inside each of those drawers, you've got folders. These folders are your ad groups. This is where you get really specific. So, inside that decking drawer, you wouldn't just have one folder. No way. You'd have a folder for composite decking, another for wood decking, and a third for deck repair. Each one is targeting a very specific need.
This slide really breaks it down perfectly. See, campaigns, the drawers, are for the big picture stuff. This is where you set your overall budget and the location you want to target. But the ad groups, the folders, that's where the real magic happens. That's where you match specific keywords to specific ads. This separation is the absolute key to making Google Ads work for you. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this concrete and see how it works in the real world. We'll use a landscaping company, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. So here's the classic mistake, the before picture we see all the time. The business owner makes one single campaign, maybe calls it landscaping, and then just dumps every keyword they can think of, decking, patio cleaning, turf, mowing, into one giant messy pile.
So, what's the big deal? Well, think about it. When someone goes to Google and types in something super specific like artificial turf installation, they get served a really generic ad that just says landscaping services. There's a total disconnect. It doesn't solve their problem, so they just keep scrolling.
And that little mismatch is exactly where your money vanishes. You end up paying more for clicks from people who aren't a good fit. Or even worse, the perfect customer never even sees your ad in the first place because it's not relevant enough. You lose both ways.
So let's fix it. The very first thing you do is create a separate campaign, a new drawer, for each major service you offer. One for landscaping, one for patio cleaning, and one just for decking. Simple, clean, and organized.
And just like that, you have control. You can give more budget to the services that make you the most money. But that's just the first step. Now let's open up that decking installation drawer and get even more granular.
Inside that one campaign, we create multiple tightly themed ad groups, our little folders. We've got one for composite decking keywords and ads, a completely separate one for wood decking, and another one for deck repair. Now each ad group is laser focused on one type of customer.
And this, right here, is the secret sauce. Because when a potential customer's search perfectly matches your ad's headline, you're not just another link on the page. You are the solution they were just looking for.
So let's run that search again. The customer types in composite decking. But this time, because of our new structure, they see an ad that says something like expert composite decking installers. It's an exact match, it's relevant, and it builds instant trust.
And the data on this is crystal clear. Clicks from these super relevant, perfectly matched ads are way more likely to convert into actual phone calls and booked jobs. We're not talking a tiny improvement, we're talking a huge increase in real qualified leads.
So if you only remember one thing, let it be this. Good structure isn't just about being tidy. A logical structure is like a machine that filters out the junk clicks and funnels the people who are ready to buy directly to your phone.
It turns your ad spend from an expense into an investment.
You know, it's like building a house. You would never, ever dream of putting up walls without first pouring a solid foundation. In Google Ads, your account structure is that foundation. If you get it right, everything you build on top of it is going to be stronger and way more profitable.
If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you subscribe. We're always sharing practical, no-fluff insights just like this, designed to help service businesses get real results. And remember, our whole focus here at Proper Marketers is to take the confusing parts of Google Ads and turn them into what you actually want, a phone that rings and a schedule that's full. Thanks for watching.